All right, let's dive into the fascinating world of positive thinking and neuroplasticity. So, positive thinking, as the name suggests, is all about focusing on the good in any given situation. It's not about ignoring the bad, but rather about approaching life's challenges with a more optimistic and constructive mindset.
Interesting. So it's like seeing the glass as half full instead of half empty.
Exactly. And the significance of positive thinking goes beyond just feeling good. It has profound impacts on both our mental and physical health. For instance, studies have shown that people who consistently practice positive thinking have lower levels of stress, better immune function, and even longer lifespans.
Wow, that's amazing. But how does just thinking positively actually lead to these health benefits?
Great question. This is where neuroplasticity comes into play. Neuroplasticity is the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections throughout life. Essentially, our brains are not static. They are constantly changing and adapting based on our experiences, behaviors, and even our thoughts.
So you're saying that by thinking positively, we can actually change the structure of our brain.
Yes, precisely. When we engage in positive thinking, we are essentially training our brain to form new, healthier neural pathways. This can lead to improved mental resilience, better emotional regulation, and a more optimistic outlook on life.
That's incredible. Can you give an example of how this works in real life?
Sure, imagine you're learning a new skill, like playing the piano. Initially, it might be challenging and frustrating, but with consistent practice and a positive mindset, your brain starts to form new connections that make playing the piano easier and more enjoyable. Similarly, by consistently practicing positive thinking, we can rewire our brain to respond more positively to life's challenges.
I see. So it's like building a muscle. The more you work on it, the stronger it gets.
Exactly. And the benefits of this mental muscle building are vast. For example, positive thinking can help reduce the brain's natural negative bias, which is a tendency to focus more on negative experiences. This bias developed as a survival mechanism, but in today's world, it often leads to unnecessary stress and anxiety.
Right? Like how our ancestors needed to be cautious of dangers in their environment, but now that same caution can make us overly anxious about things that aren't life-threatening.
Exactly. By practicing positive thinking, we can counteract this negative bias and promote a more balanced and healthy mindset. Over time, this can lead to improved overall well-being and a greater sense of happiness and fulfillment.
This is so fascinating. So by changing our thoughts, we can actually change our brain and our lives for the better.
Absolutely. It's a powerful reminder of just how interconnected our mind and body are. And the best part is, anyone can start practicing positive thinking and reap the benefits, no matter where they are in life. All right, now that we've got a good grasp on the basics, let's dive into the science behind positive thinking. So when we talk about positive thinking affecting the brain, we're really talking about the release of certain chemicals that promote feelings of pleasure and reward.
Oh, like dopamine and serotonin, right?
Exactly. Dopamine and serotonin are two key neurotransmitters that play a huge role in our mood and overall sense of well-being. When we engage in positive thinking, our brain releases more of these chemicals, which can help us feel happier and more content.
So it's like our brain's natural way of rewarding us for thinking positively.
Yes, that's a great way to put it. And the benefits don't stop there. Positive thinking can also help reduce the levels of cortisol, which is a stress hormone. High levels of cortisol are associated with a range of negative health outcomes, including weakened immune function and increased risk of chronic diseases.
Wow. So by thinking positively, we can actually lower our stress levels and boost our immune system?
Absolutely. There have been numerous studies that support this. For example, one study found that people who practiced positive thinking had lower levels of cortisol and stronger immune responses compared to those who didn't.
That's amazing. Do you have any other interesting research findings on this topic?
Sure. Another study conducted at a university in Australia showed that elderly individuals who focused on positive memories had stronger immune systems compared to those who focused on negative memories. This suggests that our mindset can have a direct impact on our physical health.
That's incredible. It's like our thoughts are directly influencing our body's ability to fight off illness.
Exactly. And it's not just about the immune system. Positive thinking has also been linked to better cardiovascular health, lower rates of depression, and even a longer lifespan. One study found that optimistic individuals had a significantly higher chance of living to age 85 or older compared to their less optimistic counterparts.
Wow, that's really inspiring. So, by practicing positive thinking, we can not only improve our mental health, but also our physical health and longevity.
Absolutely. And it's important to remember that our brain has a natural negative bias, which means it's more likely to focus on negative experiences. This bias developed as a survival mechanism, but in today's world, it can often lead to unnecessary stress and anxiety.
Right? Like we talked about earlier. So, positive thinking can help counteract this negative bias and promote a more balanced and healthy mindset.
Exactly. By consciously practicing positive thinking, we can train our brain to focus more on the good and less on the bad. Over time, this can lead to improved mental well-being and a greater sense of happiness and fulfillment.
This is so fascinating. It's amazing to think that we have the power to change our brain and our lives just by changing the way we think.
Absolutely. And the best part is, anyone can start practicing positive thinking and reap the benefits no matter where they are in life. It's all about making a conscious effort to focus on the positive and cultivate a more optimistic mindset. Now that we've explored the science behind positive thinking, let's talk about some practical techniques for cultivating a positive mindset. One of the most effective methods is using affirmations.
Affirmations? You mean like repeating positive statements to ourselves?
Exactly. Affirmations are positive statements that you repeat to yourself to challenge and overcome negative thoughts. For example, saying I am capable and strong, or I can handle whatever comes my way, can help reinforce a positive self-image and boost your confidence.
That sounds simple enough. What about positive self-talk? How is that different from affirmations?
Positive self-talk is similar to affirmations, but it's more about the ongoing dialogue you have with yourself throughout the day. It's about catching those negative thoughts and reframing them in a more positive light. For instance, if you catch yourself thinking you'll never get this right, you can reframe it to I'm learning and improving every day.
Got it. So it's like being your own cheerleader and encouraging yourself instead of putting yourself down.
Exactly. Another powerful technique is practicing gratitude. Taking time each day to reflect on what you're grateful for can shift your focus from what's lacking in your life to what's abundant. This can be as simple as writing down 3 things you're grateful for each morning or evening.
I love that idea. It seems like a great way to start or end the day on a positive note.
Absolutely. And speaking of starting the day, setting realistic goals is another important aspect of cultivating positive thinking. When you set achievable goals, you create opportunities for success and build momentum. It's important to break down larger goals into smaller, manageable steps.
That makes sense. It's like building a staircase to your bigger goals, one step at a time.
Exactly. And while you're working on those goals, practicing mindfulness can help you stay present and focused. Mindfulness involves paying attention to the present moment without judgment. This can help you become more aware of your thoughts and feelings and prevent you from getting caught up in negative thinking patterns.
I've heard a lot about mindfulness. Are there any simple ways to get started with it?
Definitely. You can start with something as simple as mindful breathing. Take a few minutes each day to focus on your breath, noticing the sensation of the air entering and leaving your body. This can help calm your mind and bring you back to the present moment.
I can see how that would be helpful. What about surrounding oneself with positive influences? How does that fit into the picture?
Surrounding yourself with positive influences is crucial. The people you spend time with can have a big impact on your mindset. Try to spend time with people who uplift and inspire you, and limit your exposure to those who bring you down. This also applies to the content you consume. Choose books, podcasts, and media that promote positivity and personal growth.
That makes a lot of sense. It's like creating a positive environment for your mind to thrive in.
Exactly. And one last tip, practice self-awareness. Pay attention to your thoughts and feelings, and notice when you're starting to internalize negativity. When you catch yourself thinking negatively, take a moment to pause and reframe those thoughts in a more positive light.
So it's about being mindful of our mental habits and making a conscious effort to shift them.
Absolutely. It's all about creating new positive habits that support your well-being. And remember, it's a journey. It takes time and practice, but the benefits are well worth the effort.
This has been so enlightening. I can't wait to start incorporating these techniques into my daily routine.
I'm glad to hear that. Just remember to be patient with yourself and enjoy the process. Positive thinking is a powerful tool, and with consistent practice, it can truly transform your life.